Yep.
Hello, women. I'm Melissa Sandon, and I'm here today with Caitlin Grace. We're actually doing a hot seat for the Soul Leader Facebook group. This is where women come together to really support each other and to really hold a space for a woman who's ready to transform and shift through her blocks and is actually working on a challenge, something that she would like to create in the world but is coming up against some resistance or needs some guidance. So I'm holding space for Caitlin Grace today. Caitlin, would you love to explain a little bit about your work, where you're at, and what you're creating in the world?
Sure. Thank you so much for putting me in the hot seat. It's a little bit uncomfortable, have to say. So I am... Okay, I've forgotten what the question was.
What are you creating and what's your work?
Okay, so I am the author of the book, The Goddess Guide to Sex, Love and Life, and I'm companioning that with a program called Awakening Your Inner Goddess that it started off being called How to Be Irresistible, and it was a program that I was creating basically for a couple of friends of mine who are single and have been single for a while, and it was like, well, I know that they're sexy, desirable women. Why can't they see that? So that was kind of the inspiration behind it, and then I transformed the name of it into Awaken Your Inner Goddess. And I've been playing around with it for a while, and as I said before, it's got to the point where I've played around with it so much, like you do when you're mixing colours together when you were a kid, so that it all just looks murky and brown now, and I just can't I can't get a real clear picture of it and whether it's ready to launch, and I just don't know what to do with it anymore. I just kind of feel frozen, deer in the headlights.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Is the way I'd describe it.
I know that feeling.
It's just I just can't see how to move forward, you know. I just
So something that comes to me straight away that I'd love to get your insight into, these women that you created the program for, are they the women that you've still had in mind while you've evolved it into, is it Awaken Your Inner Goddess?
Yes.
Yeah. So Awaken Your
Inner Goddess.
Awaken Your Inner Goddess is a relationship program that focuses on a woman's relationship with herself first.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And who are these women?
The woman that I was talking about, or who I think it's for?
Are they one and the same?
Kind of not really.
Okay.
I kind of started thinking, I had my two friends in the back of my head, but I don't really think that it's for them 100%. The woman that I'm thinking, one of them's not into the woo-woo stuff as much as I am.
Yeah.
And like I'm thinking of this in so right down into when we have sex with people, there's an energetic exchange, and if you when you've stopped that relationship, you actually need to cleanse and clear like your womb on an energetic level to clear all that residue out, and it's something that we don't tend to think about. And the people that I'm talking, my friends, would kind of think that was a little bit too woo-woo.
Yeah. So they're your friends
weird.
In terms of
so it's kind of...
Sorry, they're your friends in terms of where they're at, but with more of an openness to spirituality and goddess work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what ages are you talking about, a younger goddess type woman, or someone who's been in relationship before, looking for a life partner, or kind of a bit older than that in terms of looking for a companion in her, middle age?
That is a good question. I tend to think it's more the woman who are in their 40s and older who have left a marriage and left a marriage or been left, and then they're going, well, who's going to want me now? I gave them the best years of my life. Who's going to want me now?
Beautiful.
So it's that, yeah.
And that's so powerful, because there would be so many women who have given themselves in their relationships and their lives and to their children and to, their work, and then probably end up in a place of, where is my fire? Where is myself?
Exactly, yeah. We lose ourselves in that whole mothering wife role. And I know for myself, I was 30 when I divorced my first husband, and at that stage I was like, well, I've got these kids and I'm 30. I gave him the skinniest years of my life. Who's going to want me now?
Okay.
But
so your program touches on your relationship with your body love, awakening
absolutely.
sexuality, awakening fire and passion, healing, doing wound healing. Okay, great. So when I was looking at your website and the course, it looks like there's so much juicy information there already. Like, it really feels like you've created, and as you said, you've put so much energy and time into this that you've got a really depth course here. And I know there's probably always things that we could continue to do, but it feels like you've really fleshed out the material. When I looked at the actual description of the program, that's
cringe.
Okay. That's all right. Well, the cringe factor is probably an example of where we could actually stretch you into feeling good about this, because it's an amazing offering. But I would suggest that the woman that you're talking about, you're not actually talking directly to her.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot of talk around, that whole journey that she's been on in terms of giving to her partners and her children and her life, and getting to this place in her 40s or 50 where she's ready to really find herself and ignite herself and find a loving relationship from it. So there's one thing that we can start to focus on, is like, how do I really be in my heart and talk to her? How do I speak to her journey, her pain, her story?
And that is the biggest block that I have, is I can write all this stuff, and then when it comes to doing the sales and marketing page, it's just like, oh God, I don't even know where to start. And I've tweaked it and changed it a couple of times, and that's why I ended up making that little video,
which is
because
great.
I couldn't think of the words. Yeah.
So what do you feel when you go to think of marketing? Because, at one level, you're really passionately connected to these women. I can hear that you're certain about them and helping them and really understanding their journey. What changes when you go to market yourself and the program to them?
I just feel sick to my stomach. I literally, everything just drops to my stomach, and I just feel sick, and it's like, oh God, I just don't even know where to begin to market this, or how the words just don't come at all.
And yet, if you weren't marketing it, if you weren't putting it in a sales page or anything like that, if you were really connecting in with the heart of your work and you were just writing about it, it would be fine. It would be different.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So
how do you feel about putting yourself out there, selling your gifts?
On the one hand, I don't mind being visible. I'm quite happy sharing all sorts of stuff about my life, and anybody who's read my book can see that. I'm sure, it's almost too much information. But on the other hand, it's just the marketing. It's that whole marketing thing just makes me want to curl up in a ball and just run away.
So what does the marketing represent to you? It feels like you go into an overwhelm around it.
Yep, it is. Absolutely.
And is the overwhelm from a practical, like a masculine place of I don't know what to do, like strategy wise, or is it from a feminine place of I actually have to sell myself and put a price on me and what I'm offering?
It's the price. It's that thing of, if I could just give this to you right now, I would do it in a heartbeat. If I could give this to all the women in my group, I could just, here, have it, take it. That's brilliant. In fact, I had to literally stop myself on the days that I'd done video recordings or audio recordings. I had to stop myself from just uploading them into my group and going, here, look what I've made. It's so cool.
Okay.
And it's like, no, Caitlin, you have to stop. You can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
You're never going to make any money that way.
Yeah. So you actually...
So it's the money side.
Yeah. And that's what's losing your presence in terms of actually being able to move forward, is putting a price on this and actually claiming the value of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the value of it?
Yes and no. It's something that I tell my husband all the time, is it comes so easily to me, this stuff, that surely it's not worth anything. So it's that thing of but anybody could do that. Anybody could make that meditation. Anybody could make that audio script. Anybody could do what I'm doing. So that's where I kind of devalue what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It's it's not actually acknowledging that it's a gift and a talent and it's not acknowledging that this is what I do.
Yeah.
And I have
really
that reflected back to me all the time.
Yeah, that's something that happens with quite a lot of us with our natural gifts, the stuff that we've been living and breathing and feeling our whole lives, just our natural way. It is so natural to us that it nearly is hard to interpret and, see in an objective way the value of it.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, it feels like that for you, there's a few layers on top of that around your actual understanding of your value, your richness in who you are. And I'm just wondering, has that been something that you've been with for a long time in your life, just knowing your value?
Yep, absolutely. I could go into a big long story about that.
So the long story, and I assume with who you are and the work that you do, you've actually done a lot of work around it. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
So when we're in this place now of feeling this wound that's been with you a lot, where do you feel it in your body?
I can feel it in my throat, and it's just right there, in my chest and in my stomach.
Okay.
I could quite happily burst into tears or throw up.
Yeah.
At any given moment.
So let's just hold this for you. Let's hold your throat and your chest and your belly. And just acknowledge that this wound is here. You understand it so deeply. You know the story around it. You know why you've patterned in this disbelief in your value. And this wound is actually here rising to the surface so that it can be released. And this program that you're doing is the vehicle for that, because it's inviting you, requiring you, commanding you to put a price on your value. And it's creating all sorts of panic in your body, in your being, in your energy. And yet this is the transformation. This is the healing. This is why you're feeling it. So Sometimes the healing is about going into these patterns again and the story. Sometimes it's just about holding it and just really seeing that this wound is here at the surface because you're healing it. You're healing it through launching this program. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know that I'm kind of like, I'm standing, you know, that saying, come to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the edge, he said. We can't, master. Yeah, I'm on the edge. He's ready to push me and I'm ready to fly.
Yes.
But my toes are just gripping onto the edge for dear life, you know.
Oh my gosh, I've quivered on the edge so many times. So, but what I've also found is when you're in this place, so you're on the edge and you can understand that this fear and this wound is coming to the surface and your soul is there saying, this is the path, or you can collapse your truth and kind of collapse back into the fear and the beliefs saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't put a price on my value. And there's two different states that we can be in.
Yep.
And so when we're now in this space, we're talking the truth. So we know you're on the edge. We know that you're going through the greatest healing that you've been through just by putting your work out in the world and putting a price on it. We know you're going to leap. And so now we're speaking soul truth. We know that's the truth. So we know that you're feeling great fear and your body's in constriction and, you know, it feels terrifying to jump, but we know you're following your soul. So let's speak some soul truth then. What does your soul say about marketing? What does your soul want you to do in terms of marketing this program? Not what your fear is crazy scared of. What does your soul want you to do?
Just get it done and get it out there. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's just no prevarication, no dicking around. It's just get it done and get it out there.
Okay. Can we claim that as a truth? That's a directive from your soul. Get it out there. So that feeling that you were describing before around, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't want to do it. When I think about marketing, I crumble. That's all just the fear, and we're holding that. But instead of going into the stories around it, we're actually just going to be in the body. We're going to feel the constriction in your throat, feel it in your heart, feel it in your belly. And the soul has already commanded us. Just do it. She has spoken.
Yeah.
So what is the soul telling you about the price?
Oh, the price. I've gone up and down and, you know, every which way with the price.
Well, let's go to the soul price first. Let us just be in the soul value, which is, you know, the value, you know, the hearts of these women, you know that they have given so much in their lives that they're ready to actually give back to themselves and to create real love for themselves. They want to feel love in their body, love in their relationships. So that's priceless. So let's go to the soul price first.
See, okay.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Are you losing your integration around it? All right. Feel your throat.
Yeah.
Feel your heart and feel your belly. Just surrender into that. So you can't actually come up with a price at the moment because you flip into the head when you're not actually in your body. So to get to the soul, you actually need to be in your body.
I know this because this is in my course about how we have to drop down, right down. Actually, I moved them from the head to the heart to the womb because to me, the womb is everything.
Yep, most definitely. And your womb is incredibly active at the moment because this is the place where we conceive and birth ourselves. We create from the womb. So, and one of the things about being a soul leader, which is why we have the Soul Leader Facebook group, is that we are so deep in our leadership that we actually embody the work before we bring it into the world. So we can't develop the work and then live out of alignment with it. So this is actually you healing and embodying the work, that the work, the energy of what you've created is actually desiring you to really own it in your own body. So can you be in your womb? Can you, so you've kind of moved through your throat, through your heart, now drop into your womb. This is, the womb is the place where we birth the whole world. You know, this is kind of, we birth miracles from the womb. You're a mother, you've birthed children, you've been a powerhouse, you've been fierce, you've been loving, you've been absolutely creative. You know, this is your power and this is your potential. So really feels like just sink into that and really anchor in your power here.
Yeah.
Just really rest into that. You can be in all the swirling emotions, all the light and the dark of the womb, but just recognize the fullness of it.
Yeah.
Now, if you were seeing your womb
feels good
as the place that creates universes, that creates miracles, that can create the most exquisite beauty in the world, your womb, you would never discount the value of what she creates. You would never underprice it or undercharge it. You would never deplete the energy of it. So tell me the price from your womb.
No. $497.
$497. So just hold that price, hold it, and really sink back into the womb again. $497. So you have just spoken the soul price of this program. Just own it. And we can feel whatever fear we feel around that, but actually it's your responsibility at the moment. Soul has spoken. You have heard the truth. $497. You've got to do this program, get it out in the world, is what the soul has said. Okay, great. So we've got this soul truth now. Now let's talk a bit of yang marketing. Let's talk about real world in terms of how much you're out there in the world and how you can sell this. So you have this program, you have a Facebook group, and you have a free group for a free offering. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
So I just had a quick look before. The free offering is like a month of self-love. Is that right? And you have a group around that.
That's right. Yep.
And you have 75 people in that group, and you know you've got good engagement in that group. Those women are there and really connecting with the content. Okay. Are they the women that you were talking about in their 40s and 50s, spiritual, open to the goddess work?
The ones that are responding, absolutely. I don't know the ages of them all, but they are definitely loving all the stuff that's coming out in that group.
Okay. And you're not quite sure of their ages? Yeah. Do you get the sense that they're...
No.
Okay. All right.
Some of them are in their 30s, late 30s.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about your other group?
The Awakening Your Inner Goddess group.
Yep.
It's pretty much the same women are in both groups.
Okay. Now, this free offering, how did you get these women onto that free offering?
I already have an email list.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about it in the email list. So some of them signed up. I talked about it in my Facebook page. Some of them signed up from there.
Okay.
One of the ladies in particular loves everything that I do. She's like my little powerhouse cheerleader. Mm-hmm. She read my book and she's told all her friends about it and told all of them to jump into the group, basically.
Beautiful.
So a lot of them are her friends.
Can I just ask, is your book...
it's lovely.
Is your book targeted at those women as well, or is it a more general goddess book?
It's a more general to be honest, it was just something that I did for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of grew into the book.
You share your story in the book?
And it was a blast to write it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your story.
It's a lot about me.
Yeah, perfect. Well, these women are going to connect with your story anyway, because there's similar with your soul clients and your soul tribe. There's a similarity in journeys. You know, it might, you might have traversed different paths, but you're on the same path. So, okay. So, of the women that you've got in your audience at the moment, is that enough to run a first round of this course?
Probably not.
Okay. So we need to expand your outreach.
Yeah.
Okay, great. There's a little bit of stress that comes up around expanding your outreach. So the stress could be in relationship to what we've talked about, putting a price on your value. There's something here around, so if you were to expand your outreach, what would you do?
Well, that's why I started writing for the Huffington Post,
Mm-hmm.
to just get my name out there a bit more and kind of build a bigger platform.
Yep. Are you doing articles to these women?
Yes.
Okay. And are you speaking of spiritual concepts?
I need to do more.
The goddess?
Not so much.
Okay.
No, not.
So you're attracting one part of those women, which is the whole, looking to re-enter relationship, have had a life, are at a certain age, but you're not you're in the Huffington Post. You're more writing to your friends, those women who were at that place, but not necessarily spiritual. Okay.
Yep.
So you're not talking to those women through Huffington Post.
No.
Okay.
I'm my own worst enemy.
No, this is good. This is good. We're illuminating. It's great. So tell me, I mean, it looks like you have so much juice in this. Like even your free program, there's just a couple of little tweaks that you would make around speaking directly to her and her story. So instead of like just the self-love free program, you might make it a bit more specific to, the concept of learning to love yourself first so that you can find a new loving relationship after you've, been on such a journey as mother and partner, like wife, and everything. Like there's just a couple of tweaks that you would do in terms of like how you actually market that, like how you write about it, but the content is all brilliant. So you've actually got all of that there. So what I saw as well is that when I saw the free program on your website, it doesn't necessarily pop out as like it seems like there's a few free programs, like different months you have different free programs.
I've done this. It started in February. I did a 7-day self-love thing.
Yeah.
And so I've done it several times throughout the year.
Okay. All right, that's what that is. Okay. So what I suggest is that you see it as a finite thing that you're going to start, the self-love. So you've got your beautiful audience now. Now we're speaking of, expanding that audience with this great self-love program, but you're going to write a little bit more directly to the hearts of the women you're serving, the spiritual women who desire relationships in their 40s and 50s. I would get a couple of messages, so this is where we kind of go into the soul client work. What are they really desiring within themselves, and how are you going to speak to that within them? Get a few key messages down. So what are they really looking for, and how are you going to speak directly to their hearts? And you're a writer, so if we take out all the crap around I can't put a price on this, you can write from your heart to theirs. I know you can. Do you feel
Yeah.
that you can?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of words to say. Then you need to create an opt-in page on
Yep.
your website, which has the story there around what this free offering is, the sign up, and then
Yep.
once they sign up, you direct them into the Facebook group, and it's an email program. Is that right?
It is, yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. So just make it a little bit more prominent on your website with, its own story and an opt-in so that they can't access it before they opt in.
Yep.
And maybe see if you can take the other references out and just point everything on your website to this, imagining that there's a new viewer coming to your website and she just wants to see this.
Well, see, I've been thinking of, because I've just got my free blogger website, and I've been thinking of setting up a proper WordPress site dedicated for this, basically.
Beautiful. So with your course, is it going to be a membership site or is it going to be an email course?
It's just going to be an email course.
Okay. And where are the videos going to be when you have videos that go out in each module?
No, this is the thing. It's all that technical stuff.
Yeah.
I was just going to, I know that you can load it up in WordPress so that there is a page that people can access only after you've given them the link, basically, and it will all be on there.
And that's a beautiful first
I know
start.
I can do that.
Yep, you can do that. So basically you have a password protected page and you might have a page for each module, or you might have the whole program on one long page, and then just if it's a module-based course where you release different modules at different times, then you might have a different page for each module and just password protected. That is totally fine.
Yep.
Okay, so all of this, I haven't even gone into the marketing yet, but all of this is like a commitment to upgrading, Caitlin, in terms of recognizing that this work wants to get out. Your soul desires it to get out, and now you're investing in it. Yeah. And it feels like the investment is a little bit scary to you. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So go back into your womb and go into the 497.
Yep.
And just feel, along with the 497, actually just feel the women that you're meant to serve with this.
I know. I that's kind of what's kept me going.
Yeah.
Because I know that this is supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
I know that this needs to be out there, and that's where I just then start beating myself up, like, what are you mucking around for? You have to get this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things about leaping, particularly when we're stepping into our soul leadership, is that investment is a scary thing. Now, investment doesn't need to be like the full Rolls-Royce model of a website or anything like that, but investment does take time and putting on your big girl pants around marketing and things like that. So what holds us in investment is our absolute certainty that we're going to sell this course because it's destined to be sold to the women who need it. That's what a soul client is. She has a contract with you to work with you. The only thing that stops that contract is when you don't step up to it. So the investment is actually rewarded by all those women who are going to pay you money, and it's going to feel really good, and you're going to get a return on your investment. So first off, I would say, okay, so we're looking at a simple WordPress site with an opt-in page to begin with.
Yep.
And the opt-in page actually allows someone to sign up and then starts them doing the email process and getting them on the Facebook group.
Yep.
Okay. And then you might also have a little about me section. So you might have an opt-in page, and then, they might be able to go somewhere else and read about you and see about your book, which you might want to link back to your other site if it's too much work. But in time, your WordPress site will have that.
Yeah.
So then, okay. So really that's the first step is let's get the free course sorted.
Yep.
How far away are you from having the actual program ready?
Oh, it could be finished. It could be finished within a week.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's ready.
It is so close.
Yeah.
But having said that, I haven't done anything on it in the last month.
Yeah, that's okay. You were disassociated from it. You're going to land back with it in presence. Would you like, are you going to invest in having a designer do it, even if it's not a very expensive design? Or how does that
designer
feel?
designer instantly sounds expensive.
Okay.
And
what's your
to
resources
be honest,
available?
zero.
Zero.
Yep.
And okay, zero.
And that's what.
I've lost you, Caitlin. Isn't that funny? I can't hear you. Sorry, I lost you there.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. It went offline when something skewed in the technology when you were talking about having zero finances. Okay.
Yeah.
So can I just say...
And there's a big long story around that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. But part of this upgrade is that we need to hold the potentiality of this program, the fact that this program is going to create new abundance for you.
Yep.
And that it's going to reach women at a beautiful price, and it's going to change their lives. And then you can recognize the investment that you can make to getting that to the right women and touching their hearts with the design and, you know, various things. So one thing is to just know that your soul has spoken. So your soul, if you choose to claim the truth that she's given to you, then you can choose to trust that if you hold this, you will find a way to invest in it and to bring it into the world.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of, you're claiming that because the soul speaks truth. And if she wants to get the program out and if she wants to serve these women, then she's going to, and you can be supported by her.
Yep.
Her light can provide for you. Just feel that her light can provide for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we're not working in fantasy.
That feels...
Here. Sorry, you go.
We're not working in, what was the last word you said?
In fantasy. We're working with the soul. She's speaking truth, you know?
Yeah. And it feels much more expansive already, just sitting here talking with you. It feels much more doable and achievable. And yeah, while I like the idea of somebody designing it for me, there is a part of me that I don't want somebody else messing with my baby.
Okay.
You know?
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's probably a whole nother thing that we could depth into. But what I'll say quickly about that, someone else will bring out the beauty of this baby. So there's something for all of us in upgrading into not feeling like we have to do it all ourselves and slog it out to get our soul's dreams. Actually, if you really desire this abundance in your life, you have to be able to let yourself be supported and to allow yourself to invest in getting that support so it can reach that thriving tribe. Like, I see what you have as having real potential to have a huge thriving audience around this. Just need to get it out, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and what we haven't even talked about yet is your outreach, like how you get this free new offering and this opt-in up and running, and then you actually market it. So you can market it through, you know, some online articles. I would suggest doing your online articles as if you were talking to this spiritual woman, not just the 40 to 50 year old, but the 40 to 50 year old who's spiritual. If Huffington Post aren't okay with you turning it spiritual, then also find some other online sources that you can do. Then I would also look at maybe doing a Facebook ad. And I know that's an investment as well. So what we need to do is, have you got something to say?
Oh, a friend of mine has been nagging me to do Facebook ads for a while.
Ah, good. Can they help you with them?
She's got a friend who can, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, because as I said, you know, it's all there, it's all beautiful. It just requires your words, your story, and, you know, just getting out in front of the women who are ready to hear it. You know, that's part of the investment too.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
the other thing in terms of having $0 at the moment, that's a belief system that you're ready to up level over. Like there's a reality in terms of how much money you practically have, but actually just allow the light of your soul to flow through you now and provide for you. Imagine as if the whole riches of the universe were coming in to support this program.
Yeah, can feel that.
Yeah, there's options available. You have 75 women on that Facebook group who are quite engaged. So there's options there around actually allowing some resources to come to you. You could, you know, put an offer out to work one-on-one, you know, to have a particular coaching package, a healing coaching package around like clearing this energy out and channeling the goddesses and really attracting in a relationship. You know, there's even if
I actually just put on my website the other day, I actually edited and uploaded my Work With Me page, and one of the packages is Calling in the Goddess. And it's a Reiki, remote Reiki, and then 2 Skype sessions. So yeah, I just put that up.
Beautiful. And I would suggest maybe even, so calling in the goddess, and then there's one more element with that is around just getting a woman prepared and loving herself and ready to attract a relationship. So calling in the goddess is the first part, and then it's actually just kind of committing to opening herself to a relationship, clearing out her womb, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. That feels like those 2 programs together would so totally serve those women.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so then you can charge for that, and suddenly you're getting some money in to actually invest in the marketing. So the Facebook ads, invest in a little bit of it doesn't have to be expensive, but just something that really, a design that really hits the right vibration of this work. You have to, it's such beautiful work, and you're charging a fairly good price for it, $4.97. So it needs to feel like you've invested a $4.97 price in it in terms of the value of it.
Yeah. It's, you know, it started off as being a $47 product. Then I decided, then it kind of grew, and it was like, oh, maybe 97, or maybe this, maybe that. I've hummed and hawed, and I'm kind of shocked at that number, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's the soul value of it. That's the highest potential vibration. As you're growing your audience, you might like to look at having a soft launch or a beta test, or even a exclusive offer to your current Facebook group So you could have an exclusive offer and say to them, look, I'm about to launch this to the world. It is amazing and beautiful, but I am so appreciative that you've been here and sharing and connecting, and I want to really offer this to you at an amazing rate. Like, it's going up to $4.97, but
Yep.
come on board for this beta version for, whatever. And that way you can get some money in.
That was the definite plan, was because these ladies have been engaged, like you said, for so long, that I was definitely offering them a special price.
So you may even offer them a special price. There's 75 women on there. You might actually offer them such a special price, like say even $97 for this beta group, and you might get, like, if you can actually get 10 of your loyal audience members on to run this special kind of process where you're actually testing it out, and you're allowing these women to require you to get it ready and to put it up online and to, do all that, and then you've got a little bit of money coming in that you can reinvest in the program. You can reinvest in an ad. You can invest it in getting a nice sales page and a nice opt-in page, and launch at the $4.97 price with a bigger audience next year, beginning of next year.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Because that part of me had decided, it's too late to launch it this year. We're nearly at Christmas. Nobody's going to want to spend their money on it. All this bullshit stories that we tell ourselves,
Well, it sounds like the women in your audience already, and who are engaging in your Facebook group, if it was a small, intimate circle, I feel like they really want to engage with it anyway. So that's two options to get some money in. So what you could also do with this audience is say, here's my program. This is the crazy exclusive offer to say thank you for being here. And there's actually a level 2 offering for this. And the level 2 offering is that you get actual personal coaching with me. You get personal mentorship through this process. So you have a 2-tiered price. So that way someone can just grab the lower, just the program, and then someone could get that one-on-one coaching with you.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So this kind of, how does your body feel at the moment?
It feels really good, actually. Once I spat out that $4.97, my body's just felt nice and calm and at peace. So the throat and the chest and the stomach all just calmed down straight away.
Beautiful. So you acknowledge the true value of it, which is so powerful. So when you acknowledge...
So thank you so much for that.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Come back into the group and keep anchoring this with you. And just know that acknowledging the true value is really powerful. And then you can actually just gently step up into it, like what you're doing with your beta version. So it's not devaluing it by running a beta version. It's actually supporting you to get it out there.
I totally see that. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you for sharing so honestly.
This has been amazing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.